So we gonna get started.
Welcome everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Desserts After Dark. This is our first ever episode, Facebook Live, and anybody out there that's gonna miss it tonight, we're gonna have to absolutely repost it so you can come back and watch. So we are so honored that our first guest for our ever Facebook Live is our sister, our dope stylist. You know her. She been on TV. She been all over the internet. She's the most honest person on Instagram that I know. And we're going to talk about
And it's actually hilarious.
It's very funny. So if you haven't followed her on Instagram, you might want to do that because you're going to get some really entertaining conversation there.
Yes.
But we're here with Desserts After Dark with Miss GooGoo Atkins. Clap it up, everybody!
Thank you.
And y'all, we are right here in the bakery. So those of you who are watching and you're like, dang, I want some desserts.
Postmates.
All the way to 11 o'clock tonight. We're open to 11 o'clock on Postmates. So you can go on.
It is a limited menu, but you can get you some nice hot cookies, cup of coffee or something like that.
As soon as I got here, which was 5 minutes after they asked me to get here, I said, "Where are the cookies?"
Right. She asked for the cookies. So we'll have some cookies.
But I'll take
on the
any
table in a
dessert.
second.
I don't care. Whatever y'all got ready, I'll take it.
So we want to get right into this thing
okay.
and let people just kind of know. First of all, tell everybody who you are.
I'm a few things, and so
Tell us all of them.
All right, so I'm GooGoo Atkins. I am my mother's 7th child. I'm named after my mom.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. It's like she had all these girls and she named you after her.
Wow.
So I'm named after my mom. Thomasina is my real name. But I'm a wardrobe stylist. GooGoo is not a stage name. It's a nickname, like TT, Nene, Boo Boo.
All y'all got them out there.
You know, and so, that's just my nickname. And I sang background with my sisters who were Mary. And we were in this celebration of gospel music rehearsal. I was the background singer for the show because I was in the Ricky Minor band. Yes, I was a background singer for years too. And so I was in the Ricky Minor band, and Tina was like, so when your sisters are celebrities, you're everything. Like, you're their stylist, but you gotta go make sure I ain't flat, make sure I don't look corny, make sure I don't look doofus, make sure my boobs ain't bouncing too much. Right. So Tina said, GooGoo, where you at? GooGoo, where you at? And I'm literally working for Ricky Minor right now. Like, I'm not working for you. And so when they said GooGoo, it was like, GooGoo. She said it over the mic and everybody heard it. And that's how GooGoo got to flowing.
That's great.
And then it went crazy when I on the show, so it's just like GooGoo.
It's such a great nickname though.
And it's so unique.
GooGoo. You can do a lot with that. You can get them big hoop earrings. They say goo.
I need those.
That's so
Swap
hood.
Swap me.
Yes.
I need
That's
those.
so hood, and I love it. I need a nickname.
So I'm a wardrobe stylist. I'm a TV personality. As a result of being on TV, it kind of migrated into like my natural how I get down was inspiring people. Like, I found out that people that were plus size weren't happy because they were plus size, and I didn't realize so many women walked, with their head down. I thought that was just something I went through as a teen and, kind of in my beginning, like 20 or 21, whatever, adulthood stages. I thought that was just something I went through. I didn't know 35 and 40 and 58-year-olds were dealing with those hang-ups of being a plus-size woman. And so because I honestly am just being myself and doing me and just sharing it on social media because I talk too much, people have became inspired, and as a result, I'm asked to speak at conferences. I cut my hair and people say, "Oh, you went natural." I was like, "I've been natural. I just cut it." And so now I'm in the natural hair game.
Oh, okay.
Even though I wear wigs sometimes, but anyway, so I'm asked to speak and do different things of that nature. I still do a lot of work in the fashion game. I have a web series.
Yeah.
I was on the Mary show. I was on We're the Campbells on TV One. I have a web series, GooGoo Style. So I'm pretty much hustle.
Goo does it all. She does it all.
I'm their stylist.
Yes. And look, I really, to be honest, wasn't into like the, waist trainers and getting your girdle on and stuff. Because I really didn't really know how to like navigate that. It wasn't until I saw her, and she was like, "You need to do this." It was some undergarment, and I went and got it, and I was like, "This changed my life." And so, y'all, if you're out there, you're not wearing undergarments because you eat too much Southern Girl desserts.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You might want to check out Goo's page because she give you all these different like suggestions, the ones that work for you, what don't, and I swear it changed my life. So I can wear not anything, but I can wear a lot of things because now I can kind of make things smooth out a little bit.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, so following GooGoo's page, you know, she talks about the fact, you know, she's plus size, whatever. GooGoo looks so fabulous in everything that she puts on, and honestly, that was one of the reasons why we chose her to style us, because Catarah and I, we both have different assets, and
mostly at the top,
and we needed somebody who knew how to address those issues and make us really look great. GooGoo has a knack for that. She knows how to put you in things that just make you look amazing. Every picture she posts, I'm always like, well, dang.
I mean, she is blessed because she an hourglass, a true hourglass.
She really is.
I have to create my hourglass.
I'm getting shot.
No, you are. You good. No, you are. You are a true hourglass. I'm like, you better get it, girl. Get it. Get it,
But
girl.
I know how to. I'm a good stylist, and I know I can look at a body, and I can say, "Ooh, you have great blah 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 blah," and I don't even have to pay attention to what's not the great part. And I just find the good, and I try to make that so good. That the bad. We ain't
outweighs the
bad.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you got a cute face. You can make everything else work out.
And as you can see, their faces are gorgeous, but their bodies are gorgeous, and your personalities are gorgeous.
We have to all embrace.
So let's talk about that, because I think oftentimes people get it confused. It's not, you know, you hear this little cliche, the clothes don't make you. And that's really true. It's about how you carry it. So talk about like the level of confidence, and was that something that took a minute for you to develop, or did you always have it? Or how did that happen for you?
I absolutely did not always have it. I grew up with, how many? I'm my mother's seventh child. So I have 5 older sisters. Erica, Tina, Lisa,
She got to count them.
Malia, Erica, Tina, Lisa. I have 4 older sisters. And so I grew up like looking at them like, oh, they're so beautiful. They're so talented. And I was fat. You know, and you know, we use nice words like chubby and stuff. You use that for yourself. I was fat. And I grew up, oh, he's cute. So never mind.
So we'll get to the boys in a few minutes.
So I grew up,
distraction over there in the window.
Right. So I grew up like with that, and comparison always kills. And you know, but when you're younger and you don't know not to compare, you do that. So I grew up, you know, comparing and what have you, and I was like, dang, Erica Tina can sing. Well, Tina wasn't singing at the time. Erica has always been a songbird of the family. She sang, my sister, so it's Erica, so everybody's in sets. It's Gerald and Malia, they're together. It's Erica and Tina together, and it's me and Lisa. Well, Lisa is perfect. She's an angel. She doesn't, you know, she doesn't tell lies. You know, she does all her homework.
I know she got done like.
Yeah, she reminds mommy, it's back to school night. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to get killed. So, you know, Lisa was that child, and I didn't feel like there was anything special about me, like my whole life. And on top of that, I'm fat. And so I thought my forehead was big, and it really is big, you know. And I thought that my lips were big, which are good. That's good. I learned later that
Good lips.
Yeah. So I thought I was fat. And, you know, of course, when you're listening to these negative voices, which you just call it the devil. When you're listening to what the devil is saying to you, you start believing all that crazy stuff about yourself, and you start internalizing all of that and grow up with that. So I did not grow up confident. At the age of about 19, I just had this. It was a couple of things, but one of the things was my mother said to me, I was somewhere and I had on something that was fitted underneath, and I had a jacket on top, and I kept doing this. And I kept doing this, and my mom was like, why are you doing that? And my mother never had weight issues. She just been fine her whole life.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she just been fine. She doesn't know the struggle. So she was doing it. Yeah, when she was fat, she was a 12 and a curvy 12. Yeah, no stomach. So she's doing this, and she's like, I'm doing this and I'm like, covering up. And my mom said, why are you doing that? And I said, well, covering up and stuff. And my auntie, and she said, when you are 10 years from now, when you're 10 years heavier, you're gonna wish you had taken that jacket.
Oh my God, that is so true.
I've seen pictures just recently where I was like, if only I were there now.
And that's why I'm learning.
24.
Yeah, girl. I'm learning now to be happy where you are now, because you're gonna look 10 years from now, and it'll be great if I'm better. Everybody, we always strive to be better, but you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, girl, you look good. What you talking about? When I'm in high school, a size 6. I'm fat.
Oh, 6.5.
Girl,
because you gained some weight.
Yeah. I'm like, girl, bad. So y'all better appreciate who you are now.
Who you are now.
Yeah.
So that just taught me to embrace who you are now, because just because you gain some weight or you have some extra pounds, that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be sexy and beautiful and love yourself. Why do you feel like you have to punish yourself?
Right.
Because you put on the weight. Stop eating, work on it.
Yeah.
But either way, love yourself and just choose not to beat yourself up. Don't be bitter and that whole sort of thing. But I went through that process when I was about 19 and 20, and a lot of that was related to my relationship with my father. I wasn't his favorite. My father had favorites, and he said it, so this is not new information. I wasn't his favorite, and in my set, Lisa was, so there was Durl and Malia, Erica and Tina. Erica was his favorite, Tina wasn't. Lisa was his favorite, I wasn't. And he just said it. He said, well, God had favorites. David was his favorite. Daddy, that's all. But, at the time, you don't
understand that
that's gotta be devastating.
It's very devastating.
You don't understand that.
And that's, both of us, we are two daddy's girls to our
core.
So I can't imagine that being the reality. How did you deal with
daddy
that?
say that? Well, you know what? It didn't hit me till later that I realized that my daddy his daddy was known in Merced, California, Eddie Aaron Atkins the first. He was known as the meanest man in town.
Really?
And then his mom, he was his mom's favorite. So on both sides, he kind of got a tainted view. So who taught him?
Yeah.
So
it's a cycle. Just like everything else in families and in black families or whatever family you come from, there are cycles. My mom called them cycles of pain, and they have to be broken. And it starts with us when we do that. And what I love about you, Goo, is that you took all of that and you made clothes give you the confidence. And I used to be the girl that used to be like, oh, I ain't gonna be that girl taking 2 hours to get dressed. I used to kind of look down on that, getting all your makeup done, and it wasn't until I got older and I actually got into the relationship with my husband, and he was like, don't be lazy with your beauty. And I was like, you know what, you're right. You don't necessarily have to be beat to the gods all the time.
I feel pressure.
But you still have to make you feel good in the skin you're in by dressing it with clothes.
And don't judge yourself.
You know what, it's funny because I often, even with our employees here, one of the things that I say is make it look like you had a purpose today. So like Catarah is saying, you don't necessarily have to beat your face to death, but make some effort.
Clothes are crisp. Your hair
make
is
an
crisp.
effort to
you smell
do something.
I was gonna say that I learned that my father didn't wake up and say, let me hurt my daughter.
Right.
He wasn't a monster. He was a flawed human being. And so I knew that what's the end game? I want to love my dad. I want to have a great relationship with my dad. That was the goal. And so I had to learn that it don't matter if I got to do a lot of the work or if he got to do a lot of the work or if whatever, because if I sit there and point fingers, well, he the daddy, he's supposed to, I don't care. I want to be good with my daddy, and that's it. And if God gave me this information before he gave it to my dad, wow, thanks God, you gave it to me first. And so that means I had to take action. And so what I learned, I started reading books and just learning just about myself. I was no longer trying to fix things with my dad. I was just trying to fix myself. And I read this book called The 5 Love Languages, and when I learned about how to speak to people in their love language, I learned before I even did the test, I was like, hands down, my dad's love language is words of affirmation.
Wow.
So I said this to my dad, and even though it hurt me, I knew it was true. And I said, Dad, thank you for giving me, the best that you could. You tried your best, and you gave us your best. And at this time, just so you know, I was taking my dad some dinner, and I can cook. And
That's the question I had.
And I gave him this cornbread and black-eyed peas and macaroni, stuff he wasn't supposed to have. He had 2 hip surgeries, and he was in a convalescent home, so he wasn't supposed to have none of that. But I, was light on the salt. Mm-hmm. But I made it delicious, and as I left, I just felt the Holy Spirit say, love him in the way that speaks to him. And I said, and I knew in my heart, even though it felt unfair, and he's all growing up, and at this point I was in my 30s, and I started this journey at 19, and anyway, so I'm in my 30s, and I said, Dad, or I wasn't in my 30s, I was 28. I said, Dad, I love you, and I thank you for giving me your very best. Mm-hmm. Baby, you would have thought that I wrote my daddy a $10 million check.
Wow.
He talked about that forever. Everywhere he went, all of my cousins, all of my family, because I started speaking to him in his love language.
Yeah.
And so my point is, it doesn't matter who goes first.
Yeah.
If you know that your goal is to fix something,
yeah,
and you know how to fix it, put your pride to the
side.
side.
You gotta put that ego to the side.
And today, my father is not here. But my father knew that I loved him, and that he loved me,
and that's the most
he was my hero, and I don't care. I'm at complete peace. And I'm like, what if my pride had to stop me?
And you didn't have that
Daddy,
moment.
You didn't affirm me as a little girl. I felt like a fat little girl. Like, what if I had just moped and then he would have died? Like, what, And
in our communities, I think that's a big thing. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really big thing that we don't address a lot of issues. We like to sweep things under the rug and pretend like they don't exist. So, this is a great, thank you for sharing that, because that's something really intimate and personal. So to publicly speak to that, I'm sure you just blessed somebody this evening. So, I think in our communities, we have to do better with just really being honest and putting the ego to the side. I think we have an issue, and you see this even in the streets. I think that's the problem now. Everybody want to clap back. Everybody want to clap back because they think it's cute. You know what I mean? They think that's cute. But
nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
And I had to keep the goal. And he the adult. But God actually gave me, the revelation that your dad tried his best.
Yeah.
He was ill-equipped.
Yeah.
If you take a handicapped person and you put them in the NFL, they're not going to perform like Russell Wilson.
No.
If you take a person with a physical disability and you put them on the front line of a war, they're not going to perform, like a Navy SEAL. They're not going to, because they're ill-equipped. That does not mean that they didn't give their best. And I was so grateful that God allowed me to see that. And I pushed my pride to the side, and I just got the best thing ever. And the peace that I have in my heart is like unexplainable, because I know, like, just the fact that growing up, I wrote my mom a letter that my dad didn't like me. So I said, Mom, what? Like, he's my dad. Like, what? I was 11. Why doesn't he like me? I was like, isn't he just supposed to like me because I'm his daughter? And then later to find out you're bragging on me? Like, you tell him, GooGoo said, GooGoo said, man, GooGoo. My dad said, he told me, he said, when you were 7 and I asked you what you wanted to be and you said the President of the United States and you were very sure about it, like, that's what I'm going to be. He said something inside of me clicked and said, she's going to be all right. And I don't want to be president because I don't want that pressure.
Oprah said she didn't want it either.
Oh, no. But because I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to do that. So when he said that, he was like, oh, she a
good
soldier. Yeah.
So he probably felt like he didn't need to give you certain things because he felt like you were strong enough.
It could have been.
And you never know.
Should be all right.
It's gonna be fine, and then I'm gonna take care of this one over here. And not to say that your other sister was not strong, but you know what I mean?
Because think about it. Do you really think that your parent wakes up and says, how can I hurt you today?
Right.
Like,
No.
come on. Even if they did hurt you, and even though you legit got a reason to be hurt, they didn't wake up saying, let me hurt my child. So
Right.
dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
And if you the one that got to go the extra mile with no, like you ain't giving me nothing to work with
Yeah.
because you being a complete behind hole.
Yeah.
Like, go the extra mile. Keep your goal in mind. And I promise God, like, God honors that.
Yes.
Because he knew, my heart.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that we make is that we assume just because somebody is an adult
Yeah.
that they have it all
That
together.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
they figured it all out, and we're learning as we mature into adulthood
That our parents are not perfect.
and our peers are not perfect.
No,
Even
they
when
have
you
no
look
books,
right,
no
even
books.
if you
No,
look in your
none.
friend group, in your circle, like look at yourself. We're all flawed,
Yeah.
and we are of an age where it seems like things should be together, and
Should know this.
You should right, exactly.
Why don't you know this?
Nobody told
I was
us.
like, dang, it's a lot of stuff. I know I'm just coming into like fruition and like, oh, okay, all right, now I'm learning how to be a better person every single day. And I think if we strive to be better people every day, we learn new things about ourselves that we can kind of share with other people. I want to ask,
Okay.
with your experience with your dad, you talked about that. How has that affected your relationships with men? Because I see you on Instagram. You're like, ooh, I can have this man. Ooh, I would love to be a wife. I can cook. All your memes and stuff you put up. How does that affect those relationships?
Well, first things first. I never say I can cook. I'm gonna tell you
You just
why.
said you can cook.
No, I said it here because we girl talking.
Okay.
But the reason why I don't put that on social media, honestly, is because I never wanted to seem like I'm putting myself up for sale.
Gotcha.
And I feel like if you get to know me, there are certain things you'll find out about me. And if you care enough, you'll come and you will inquire. I never have to say, oh, look at me. Look at my booty. Look at my eyes. I can cook. I can clean. I make money. Like I don't have to put that out there. If my smile or my energy or whatever don't get it and cause you to become interested in me and want to learn more, then cool. I never want to feel like, because at the age we're at, people be throwing everything out there.
22.
Yeah, 27, People be throwing everything out there to try to like reel them in, and I don't want to do that. I just want to.
Oh,
I
seen
just want
it.
to make sure. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
I seen it.
I don't be leading with that.
No, you're not that. You're hilarious with it.
What
though.
was your question again? Because I lost my.
My question was on social media when you put little funny memes up about like marriage or being in a relationship. Those are funny and they're hilarious as heck. But since you brought up your dad, I wanted to know how does that affect your relationships now with men and how you kind of let them into your life or not? How does that work?
So the truth is, I'm 40, and when I went on this journey when I was 30 to just, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was like, "Goo, you good on paper." I was living in a home, and it was a 4-bedroom home. I had no kids. I don't know what them rooms is for. For shoes,
of course.
Right.
Wardrobe closet.
And I was kind of on the road, and I was still singing, and I was doing wardrobe styling, and thankfully my sisters are professional, and they gave me 2 full checks for wardrobe styling and singing. So I was like doing it, and I was taking care of myself, and everything was great, and I was just like, Goo, you know the truth, and you got some issues, and I didn't really know what they were because I was like, I'm good, I had a mouth from the pits of hell, and it's okay to be strong, but you have to know how to appropriate, and how to apply your strength, and so and I knew that. And so I went on this journey when I was 30 where I was just like, God, I'm good on paper, but I don't think I'm jamming all the way. Let me know what's what. And I was like, if I'm this, and I started naming all kinds of stuff. I'm this and I'm that and I'm whatever. Let me know where I'm off, where am I getting it wrong? Not for no relationship, not for whatever, but just for life. I don't want to. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I had a girlfriend. Oh Lord, I hope she don't watch this show. But she said at the time she was 30 and she had never worked a real job. and she was living in a assisted, like a low income house. And there's nothing wrong with that for people who need help in that area. And so she has said, and at the time, her daughter had referred to 3 different men as daddy. And she said, if her daddy don't such and such, she ain't finna see her daddy. And she was like, I never met my daddy, and I'm cool. And I said, sis, you're not cool. This is not, because you never paid $1,200 for rent. You don't even know what the struggle is like.
Right.
And so,
cycle.
So when she said that, I didn't even look at her. I brought it all back to me, and I said, GooGoo, just like you look at her, and you may say, sis, you may not have ever held a real job, and I judged her. People could judge you.
Yeah.
And you could think that you good and that you
got it going on.
And you do not have it going on.
You do not.
And they think you just as crazy, and you are crazy.
Marriage woke me up. It for real woke me up.
I said,
my
God,
jamming.
for one, I'm sorry for looking at that like that, but if it's something in me that's off, let me know. I don't want to think I got it going on because I'm 30 and I'm in a house and I don't have any children. I make my own money and I've never had to do anything nasty to make money. I don't have to sell myself out. I don't do those nasty, those whores do to make money. It's just a self-righteous.
Yeah.
And so Lord, but then I literally was like, nah, for real, Jesus, like I want to know what's up with Goo.
Yeah.
Because I know. Whatever it look like to people, I'm good on paper, but I know it's some off stuff about me.
And we all have
just
it.
like I did, God immediately directed that to me, like, Goo, just like you look at her like that, people could look at you like that, and they right. Just like you may have pointed out some real things about her. They right about you, Goo. You ain't all that you think you are. You ain't all that. My pastor always said that. You ain't all that. So I took a look at myself, and I started thinking like, oh, your mouth. Oh, you're a fool. No man is going to ever want to be with you. So I was like, well, God, why did you make me strong? And he said, because you're going to need it for where you're going in life. But when you're dealing with a man, shut up.
That's hard for a lot of women, especially those of us who are like, I got married 4 years ago, so that I'm 38 now. And so later in life, so by that time you done bought houses, you done started business, you done established, and it was very hard for me. I'm the oldest of 5 kids, so I'm always the leader,
the boss.
And I'm like, I get in this marriage, and I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me. Like you said, I'm jamming. I ain't never say I was perfect, but I was damn near close.
But speak to this though.
Thank you.
But speak to this though, because honestly, I think Catarah and I had a pretty good situation because we were business partners. And to be honest, I think any type of business relationship like that, when you really take it seriously and have any level of respect for your partner, it is like being in a marriage. And you do have to learn how to bend and be flexible with the individual. And so actually, a lot of the things, it's funny now, but a lot of the things that her husband was sharing with her about some of her, troubled areas, she was like, yes! I was like, I told you.
The only thing was I wasn't a good listener. But I knew that. Because actually, most of the things that somebody makes, you have heard it before. And by the time we 35, we ain't just hearing the things about ourselves for the first time. You've been hearing them all your life. Catarah, listen. You don't listen.
Shut up, GooGoo.
You don't listen. Listen. That was one of my main things. And but like you said, we're all flawed. But until you, like Google said, realize that you're not the perfect person and that you're flawed and that you got things that you got to fix too. So you can't be out here judging Susie and Dan
focus
and
on
Jim.
you.
If you focus on yourself, you fix yourself, and it makes everything better. Because when I started listening, then I was able to hear Shoneji and hear her. And then, we talk to each other about all kind of things. And then we like, okay, Shoneji be like, Tara done told me this 10 times. And she done told me something about me 10 times.
And she love you.
Yeah. And it's not coming from a crazy place. And when you stop being defensive.
And that is key.
Yes.
That is key.
It's hard though.
They love you.
People give you hints and stuff because they see all this good about you. But that one thing, if you got that right, you'll be killing it. So if you heard it 10 times, it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Everybody ain't
Nobody's
lying.
trying to hurt you. People ain't like. First of all, why do you think you matter enough for? Like you think we all just got together to? Oh, we gonna call her a liar. No, you a liar. Stop lying.
That's a trait of yours.
But you're amazing. So if you stop lying, you would kill it. That's it.
Right. So y'all all know what your flaws are. So just acknowledge them and then start working on them for yourself. Because Jada Pinkett Smith, on her Instagram, she said something about until we become better, start working on ourselves and become better people, we cannot thrive in relationships.
Ooh,
It's the truth.
Like, how can you be in a
Because
relationship
you're not
with
being
somebody
honest
else?
with you.
You're not being honest.
When you're
It's
not
your
being
fake
honest
person.
with yourself,
Yeah.
how can you thrive in anything outside of that? How can you?
Yeah.
You haven't even accepted. You haven't accepted the good or the bad. You haven't accepted the truth about who you really are. So you're basically just walking around faking it.
Yeah.
But people think that they're thriving sometimes if they're successful, if they're making money, if they're whatever.
Yeah.
That's true. But if you don't have the like social or emotional success, what are numbers?
Yeah.
If everybody
It don't
around
matter.
you be like, baby, keep your money.
Yeah.
And even though a lot of people will say, give it to me, but those key people, when your mama say, nah, I'm good, that hurts you.
Yeah, yeah.
If your mama say, or your people around you say, I don't want your money, because I know if you give me your money, you're going to think that you're
hold it against
get
you.
it
Hold it up
exactly.
your head.
Get it together.
Yeah,
Get your
yeah.
personal stuff together.
Yeah.
And don't just thrive in one area,
Right.
because you're only a sum of all your parts.
Right.
So if your personality sucks and the way you treat people sucks,
Man.
you still just a C minus.
And your
nobody
outfit won't
cares
make
that
a
you're a
difference.
financial genius.
God, yes.
We don't even want to be keep
Yeah.
your little funky money, baby. Because
Yeah.
money, baby, bye. I'm right here on the street, right here, just as
Man,
happy.
money comes and money
it
goes.
goes.
So you want to be able to keep the people you love around you and not take that when you do got it. You like the one that.
We have some people that are asking some questions. I
Oh,
wanted
come
to
on, questions.
let's see, where are we here? So
While you doing that, I was gonna say, like, I use this analogy. So, I went to the movies and I watched the Avengers. I don't think it was the latest Avengers. I think it was the one before the last one. And they inducted Spider-Man into the Avengers. Well, Spider-Man was 14. But he was still Spider-Man. He had all his powers, all his everything, right? So he just webbing people, and and it's like, baby, you webbing this man. This man even he just looked like he wasn't even committing a crime. You know, so and so locked his keys out the car, and you thought he was breaking in the car.
Sound familiar?
Oh yeah, and so he's just misusing his authority and his power and his whatever, because why? He's 14.
He's
And
immature.
the rest of the Avengers are mature adults.
Yeah.
And so you have to make sure that you sharpen your gift, and that you know, once you recognize, oh, I have this gift, which my gift is my mouth. I speak. And so even though I can speak things and I can kill you, why kill you when I can build you?
Yeah. Exactly.
If
It
you
sounds like our country and what it's going through right now.
Oh, if you a fool, just be a fool. I just walk away.
use your
to
powers
open
for
one's mouth,
good and
use
not
them.
evil.
And
Yes.
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yes.
And so I know what my power is. I know what my, you know, what it is. And so I'm just like, if I sit here and tear you down, or if I talk about gossip, you know, all the stupid gossip sites that I hate. But if I tell you how wonderful you are, no matter how big my mouth is and how long-winded my stories are, you're never gonna say, all right, Goo, that's enough. You're gonna let me go on and on
going,
and
girl.
on
Keep
about
going,
how
girl.
thank you. No matter who the
seriously.
person is, so you use your power
Yeah.
for good and use it at the right time. And that was my lesson when I went through that whole transition at 30. God was just like, I made you strong for where you're going in life, but you got to know where to use your power, where to cut it off, where to add it, where to kind of press the gas, where to back up, where to turn it off totally, and that whole sort of thing. So I was like, oh, this baby Superman, oh, that's me. Oh, you know.
Like, I don't know how to use it yet, but I'm
Thank
learning.
you, but I get it now, and I know how to use it, and I know my power, and I know my strength, and
That's
I
a
just
blessing.
feel-
A lot of people that ain't 40 yet, they don't know yet.
I have a question for you, GooGoo, because you know we hear this phrase all the time. We see it hashtagged all over social media.
I don't know what she about to say.
People are always saying black girl magic.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
So when you hear that, and I'll tell you, when Catarah and I decided to do our Desserts After Dark and have these conversations, we were like, we know so many amazing women, so many amazing black women, and we want to be able to sit down and just have a conversation because we all have stories. So when you hear that black girl magic, how does that resonate with you? Like, how do you feel about that?
I just think that we just have a power. And the power came from, the struggle, our different walks of life. And, I don't know if y'all watch Insecure, but I think that everybody.
Who don't watch Insecure?
If you don't watch Insecure, get from under your rock. Okay?
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
But I just think that when you watch stuff like that, or maybe you may hear us talking tonight and be like, oh my God, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's our magic. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we've accomplished some things. We're sitting here in your business, and y'all ain't baking cakes right now, but we're doing a whole different situation. That's power.
Yeah.
Like, it's not saying, oh, I'm failing as a business, let me find a new thing. It's just saying, oh, I can do this too. Like, I got some conversation. And so that's our power. I'm moving out of styling and I'm doing more personality stuff like this. That's my power. And so that's our magic. And it doesn't mean that I ain't against Asian girl magic, Indian girl magic.
Come on, girl.
I'm like, whatever, like, I'm with everybody's thing. And so, but black girl magic, of course, is personal to me because I'm a black girl.
Yeah.
And I just embrace our strengths and I just, so that's what, and we don't realize it's a power. Like I was saying, like, I didn't know that, people start saying, oh, you're so confident. I said, oh, I am. I feel ugly that day. But I posted a picture anyhow. But the fact that I posted a picture anyhow was more than what a lot of people would have done because their eyelash was off or their little Spanx was showing or you know what I'm saying? Their stomach was a little bloated. And so I'm like, oh, that's the magic? Oh, okay. Well, I'll take girl magic
any day.
So black girl magic is just embracing all of our confidence, all of our talents and gifts and powers and strengths and inspiration, that comes from just being a black girl and just maneuvering. You know how society, does this. I'm supposed to be like this, and I'm like, I ain't never had a fight with this.
It's so many of us out there who have not had fights
that are not throwing drinks on anyone.
We're not doing all of that.
And I will just walk away before I ever dog you out. Yeah. Let me just walk away.
It's not what's going on here. That's why we have her here. And it's going to be so many others like her here throughout this series that we do. But I want to talk about Christmas. I know it's November 1st.
Can I do a challenge real quick?
Go ahead.
Before your Christmas. I want to challenge y'all. This just came to me. If y'all, you can't cut it out because we laugh. So we got to do it. So I have a girlfriend, a Mexican homegirl. Her name is Alejandra G. She is a phenomenal designer. Her designs have been everywhere. They're on every red carpet, everywhere. She's been in Vogue and all of the big magazines and blah, blah, blah.
Come on, girl.
But she's a Mexican girl from LA.
You don't hear that often.
She bought it. Like, she a boss. And I would love to see black girls and interviews the Mexican girl and the Asian girl and the Indian girl and the, and the Arab girl. Like, I would love to see that. So if for whatever it is, I'm calling out my Mexican homegirl, Alejandra G. I want you to come here and talk about it, sis.
Come on, come see us. So we got some coffee and cookies for
whoever,
you.
Whoever. Like, come talk about it.
Yeah, why don't y'all go ahead and
did I put you on the spot?
No, why don't y'all go ahead and tag some ladies
of color,
ladies who you think are out there doing it and we need to share their story and we can sit here and talk to them like we are tonight. Go ahead and tag them.
Because I'm telling you, they know what's up. They've been through the struggle.
Oh,
and don't
absolutely.
be cute because everybody think that your whole MO is all I am is cute. Oh, no, baby. But I got degrees, though.
Right.
Yeah. But I got a talent, though. Yeah, now my talent is not on my back.
I have brains.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know. Brains and all of that.
So you were going into.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I know we're going to start wrapping this up.
Yes.
But it's holiday time. If anybody was on my Facebook today, I talked about the Hallmark movies because that's just my thing that I do. So my tradition is I sit down and I watch all these Hallmark movies.
Back to back.
And all the way way through Christmas, and Shoney be like over here looking at me crazy.
Oh, well.
But I'm a Hallmark girl, and if you're a Hallmark girl, go ahead and get some pocket. They got a all black cast one coming out. Yes,
I love you all.
yes. But I was gonna say, in your household, like for the Atkins, like what's Christmas for y'all? Like, what do y'all do? Y'all all get together? What's going? Who cooking? Like, what's going on in the home? For
So
Christmas time?
imagine this. Okay, so it's all of us sisters. So it's mostly girls in our family, and we do the cooking. And you know, we are a very, even though you know most people know us as bosses and stuff like that. Like my cousin Dana. I don't know if you're watching, Dana. He's like, so when I said we were all in sets, Dana was my cousin. He was like raised with us like my brother. So even though it was me and Lisa, it was me, Lisa, and Dana.
Okay.
Right. Me and Dana are 2 months apart. He's July 4th. I'm May 4th. So and people thought we were twins as kids. I look just like his mom.
Wow.
So Dana comes over and he's like, "Goo, make my plate." Ooh, get out of my face, Dana. And then I go in there and make his plate. So we're very like, you know, traditional. We take care of our men, even down to the little boys, like the 8-year-olds, you know, that's just the way we are, you know. But we do a lot of cooking, you know. If you can't cook a certain thing, don't you do it.
Paper plate duty.
This is not diet time. This is not like you better practice that thing and practice it. Because if you don't show out on holiday time, you will be shamed.
Y'all talk about people. Oh,
We ain't gonna talk about it.
Wait a minute.
If you cook a dish, we ain't gonna talk about it. But if Atkins cook a dish, we killing you.
So wait a minute. Do y'all do this? Because this is what we do in our family. So who made them greens?
Yeah!
Before you put it on your plate.
And in my family, Honey Atkins better have made them. So look, we done lost. So the cooks of the family. Malia done got a little shy. That's my oldest sister. But most of the cooking comes from Erica, myself, and Elena. We're the cooks.
Y'all the cooks.
My mama just been doing this weird thing like, oh, you want me to cook? Oh, you want Mama?
She said she did her time.
Don't
play about it.
We want that corn. We want that fried corn. We want them greens. And we want that hot water cornbread. Nobody else can make it.
Those are the 3 things y'all have to have.
Mandatory.
Mandatory. Okay.
So me, Erica, and Elena, and Tina cooks too. Tina cooks her brother. This is the thing about Tina. Tina is very, I have to put it here. It has to wait 4 minutes. Like I'm like, I don't care what like. First of all, I want the quickest, easiest process possible.
Yeah.
If it tastes good to you, I've won. Right? So I know how. Like I'm like my mother in that regard. I know how to make food taste good.
Yeah.
So Tina is like, you cook that in 30 minutes? Oh, no way it could be. It's not. So that's how Tina is. But if Tina cook anything, it's gonna kill it. However, she's cooking one thing and she's gonna tell you all 15 steps she went through to cook that.
Oh my God.
All right, so me, Erica, Tina, Elena, and Goo, we do most of the cooking.
Okay.
And my sister Lisa, we do most of the cooking in the family. Lisa's a baker.
Okay.
But we do most of the cooking in the family, and you know we split the rest of the stuff. I'm always on Black Eyed Peas duty.
Oh.
I do a really good pound cake. Oh my God, I'm so ashamed.
That's okay. You still kind of Southern girl. Okay,
If they ask for some, I'll be like, I didn't make it. So I make one dessert because I challenge myself because I am a cook. You know, I do cook. I'm not a cook, but I can't cook. So hi Kia. So I challenged myself to make a cream cheese pound cake because I'm like, how do you cook like this and don't really? Of course, I can finagle little stuff and whatever, but I'm like, you don't really bake. So the thing that I really bake is one thing, and that's a cream cheese pound cake. Okay. So my family wants that, and but yeah. So Erica, Tina, Lisa, Goo, we all do the cooking, and we pull it together, and it's gonna be a lot of singing. It's gonna be, you know, videotaping the kids doing whatever they do. They probably
do that dance. Do that.
But you know what? The kids are always the entertainment for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay, y'all get out there and do something.
Yes.
They are hilarious.
And they got something. So the teens and then the babies.
Oh.
You know, and I'm a sucker for the babies, and so, you know, it's just that whole sort of thing. So you go to the games are on. The men tell us to shut up. You know,
so much fun.
We could literally sit sit here and talk to GooGoo like all night long. But we know, you guys, it's getting late. So we're going to wrap it up. I do have one last question for you.
Okay, I'm going to be brief.
So we were talking about holidays. We were talking about the food. We must end on desserts. So we want to find out, how did you actually find Southern Girl Desserts? And once you got here, what became your favorite dessert?
Do you know how I found Southern Girl Desserts? How? I don't know.
I remember just one day I was behind the counter and you walked in and I was like, oh, I know who that is. Really? Yes. You came in and you were like, you ordered, I can't remember what you ordered, but it was almost like, that's what you said. You came and got your regular. And I was like, that is so darn cool. I was like, we done made it.
I am a regular. So of course they're the owners and they have people do, and so they don't be here. I'm like,
not all the time, but that time
I'm like, tell them I said hi. But I come in here, all of my people that come in town. But yeah, everybody. I'm like, no, they real. They cupcakes are heavy.
Yeah. We do have dense dessert. Some lady put on Yelp today. She was like, I love mine. No, it wasn't. Was it you?
It could have been me.
You said I like my cake.
Heavy. I just told you that. I haven't did a review until today. Because I was sending my friends who I was like, come support me. I'm speaking at Southern Girls today. We finna whatever. I don't know what we talking about, but we finna whatever. And I said, so I went to Yelp and I said, wait a minute. I review my girls. Girl, I said, if the cupcake is not heavy and sweet like me, I don't want it. And I said, they cupcakes are heavy and they sweet. I started to say, you know that little pinch of salt, because some stuff be overly sweet.
Yeah.
And they don't have that good balance of that butter.
Yeah.
Listen, take it from somebody who has gained all of their weight the old-fashioned way. These are the truth, y'all.
Oh my God.
The banana
That's
pudding,
hilarious.
the cookies, that blondie. What is that, blondie? I can't do this. But okay, what was I supposed to
It's hard.
answer?
You did it.
It's hard for us too.
You did it.
It's hard for us too.
I would never.
It's
make
very
it.
hard.
Well,
I'm never
it's-
coming to your house.
It's like crack.
Okay,
it really
yes,
is.
It is. No, but for real, it's legit.
Thank you.
It's legit.
Thank you so
we
much.
appreciate your support. We appreciate
Yeah.
you bringing every person that you bring.
Yeah.
And we are just so thankful that we were able to take some time to really kind of learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
You know, we've known you over the years, but we learned some really intimate things, and we hope you guys have enjoyed this as well.
And that it inspired you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, by all means, send us any messages. Ask. You know, you can continue to ask questions. We might ask you, and the next time maybe we'll answer a few of those questions that come in a little bit later.
Yeah.
But we're going to wrap this up. Catarah, if you want to say anything.
So I just want to say, you guys, like, share. Okay, we're gonna repost this. If you're out there and you have a little craving for some dessert, go ahead and go to Postmates. We're gonna have it open till 11 o'clock tonight. And remember, we're doing this every first Friday, and we're gonna have another special guest on December 7th. Yes. So mark your calendars, and we'll let you guys know who that person is going to be. But thank you so much for coming and joining us on this. We really appreciate you guys. We love y'all. And it's dessert. It's Christmas. Yeah. Well, it's almost Christmas. Eat cake. It's holiday season. Y'all better come get your orders in. That's what you better do.
Because the time is wrapping up.
It's tick, 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 tick it away.
Thank you.
We love
welcome,
you.
sis.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sis.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.